Welcome to part 3 of creating a vertical batch shooter in Unity. In this video, we're going to be going over setting up the colliders, scripting player movement, and scripting activity. Let's get started. So now I'm going to add a circle collider to Skelly. Select Skelly, go over to the Add Component button in the inspector, type in Circle Collider 2D, and then I'm just going to adjust the radius on this a little bit to make it a bit smaller. And that's it for Skelly. Now I'm going to add a box collider 2D to the castle. And these colliders just enable it to where when the fireball hits the skeleton can register it was hit. And when the castle is hit by a skeleton, the castle will register it was hit. Now we're going to have to script these to function correctly, but this is one of the important steps. You have to have a collider to get some interactivity. Now I'm just going to drag the fireball on the scene for later. I'm not going to do anything with it right now. I'm just going to have it on the scene so later when I start scripting the interaction between the fireball and Skelly, it's there and I don't forget about it. So now I'm going to go into the assets folder and create a new folder and call it scripts. Then I'm going to double click on that, and inside of that folder I'm going to right click and then create a C# script. And I'm going to call it player controller. Now I'm going to double click on that. It will open up VS Code. So at the top, I'm going to declare a few variables first. First I'm going to say public animator anim, and this is just creating a slot that I'm going to drag the animator in, and I'm going to call it anim in this file. Then I'm going to make a move speed, a float for move speed, and just 10F. Next I'm going to go to update, and this is going to be moved up. And I'm just going to make it to where when you press the W key, you move up. So if input dot get key code W, and I just want to say vector2 new position equals transform dot position. Then I'm going to say new position dot y plus equals move speed times time dot delta time. Then I'm going to say transform. There, it knows what I'm going to say. Transform dot position equals new position. Then I'm going to say else if, no, then I'm going to say if input, yep, I'm going to do S, input dot get key code S, and it's almost identical to this, so I'm just going to copy this, and right here where it says new position dot y plus equals move speed, I'm just going to say minus equals move speed. Alright, it doesn't like this. Did I do something wrong? I don't think so. Okay. Let me hit save. Now I'm going to move that. Now I'm going to come back to the scene, and I'm going to grab the script and just drag it onto the bat. So you see the bat now has this player controller script. Let's test it out. So I'm gonna hit play, test it out. And as you can see, we move up and down. Press W to move up, S to move down. Looking good. So currently we don't have any boundaries set up. So when the bat moves up and down, it can technically go outside of the screen. We're just gonna set up some boundaries so that's not possible. So just go select your bat and go over to add component. And I'm gonna give it a rigid body 2D. I'm gonna change gravity scale to 0. I don't really want it. And I want to change collision detection to continuous. And also I'm gonna put a circle collider. And right here, I can adjust the radius. I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller than its actual wingspan. Over here, I'm gonna create an empty object and call it boundaries. And then I'm gonna right click on that, create a 2D object. Should make it square. Color doesn't really matter. Actually, you don't even have to see it. I'm just having it here so I can visually see it. And I'm gonna add a box collider 2D to it. And it will just conform to the shape of this box. Well, I'm gonna change this to collider. Now I'm gonna hit Control D to duplicate it. Move it down. As you can see, you can't go outside the screen. Okay, and actually, I'm gonna take these and just change the alpha to 0, just so you don't see it. Click on color, down here the A, that means alpha. And alpha just means transparency. Okay. Well, now we're going to set up the fireball animation. We're going to go down to the art assets folder and click and drag that fireball out onto the screen. Then I'm just going to make the fireball a little bit smaller, probably about 0.5 across the board on the X, Y, and Z axis. Now I'm going to go over to Window, Animation, Animation. This will open this animation timeline. So now I'm just going to click on Create. And now I'm just going to save it. I'm going to call it Fireball. Next thing I'm going to do is add a property. I'm going to add a rotation property. And this just allows you to animate the object's rotation. And here on the Y rotation, I'm gonna change. I have 3 animation points. The middle one, I want to have be 180 degrees. Actually, I think I want negative 180 degrees, just because I want it to rotate in a different direction. So negative 180, and then the one on the very end, I'm gonna put negative 360. As you can see, it's rotating. I'm just testing it out, looking to see what it looks like. That looks good. This is going to be a persistent animation that just plays. So whenever you spawn the fireball, animation will just play. It's not going to ever change. Okay, so now I'm going to go down to scripts and open up the player controller. And all I'm going to do is set up the ability for when you press the space bar, that is how I want the fireball to be shot. So similar to these right here, I'm going to say if input dot get key. I want it to be up this time though. I'm just gonna tab to take that. So if key is up and the key code is going to be space, because I don't want you to be able to just spam the space bar, like press it down really fast. It adds maybe like half a second or quarter second to the amount of time between when you can shoot a fireball, and that's just a cheap way to limit the amount of presses. So I just want, just to make sure this is working, I just want to put debug.log fireball shot. Sorry, I'm missing a curly brace. There we go. Okay, there it is, shot fireball. So it's working. Okay, now we're gonna go down here and create a script for the fireball movement. I'm gonna select the fireball, right click, go to create C# script. I'm gonna name this something like simple fireball movement. You can name it something similar to that, simple movement. Now I'm just gonna double click on it, open it up in the editor, and in the update, well, the first thing I'm gonna do is add a variable. I'm gonna call it public float direction. And then I'm gonna go down to the update. Well, first I'm gonna delete the start because I don't need it. Then I'm gonna go down to the update and go vector2 dot. And go vector2 new position equals transform dot position. You can see it already guessed what I was gonna put in there. Yep, and then the next thing I'm gonna do is new position dot x. And actually, I think I'm gonna change, instead of direction, I'm just gonna call this move speed, just so it'll be more clear. So then right here it makes more sense to me. New position dot x plus equals move speed times time dot delta time. Then for the last one, I'm just gonna put transform dot position equals new position. And this is very similar. Oh, looks like I got a typo here. Let me go back real quick. And this is very similar to the bat movement. The only thing is the bat movement required input. And I'm just gonna set the move speed to 10F, 10 frames. Now we're gonna test it out. You can see right here, for some reason the move speed is not coming through. I'm just gonna put 10 right here. Okay, yep, now I'm gonna test it out. And as you can see, boom, fireball shot. So there's actually a couple more things we need to do to this fireball, and we're gonna do that in the next video. So we need to make it to where the fireball will spawn from the bat's mouth area. Then we're gonna have to make it to where the fireball will interact with the skeleton when it hits it. Those are two separate parts. So we're gonna be going over that stuff in the next video. See you there.